Hi everybody, this is B, and it's been a really long time since I've done a video. Time seems to fly by here in Avalon. It's an absolute mystery to me where the heck time goes all the time. That's time 3 times in the sentence. Let me just adjust my camera because otherwise it's looking a little bit bleak in here. And also I would like to say to you, I am here in my beautiful caravan. It is my home for Cerridwen in Avalon, and it's really nice here because you can hear all the nature all around you. I miss living in my caravan. I used to love being on the Isle of Avalon, which is a campsite here in Avalon, and sit under the trees and be really in the land. I'm not really house trained, so to speak. So today what I would like to talk about a little bit is oracling in dreams. There is something that perhaps most of you have not tried yet, and I just thought, you know, bring a little bit of sunshine into the world and bring a bit of mystery out into the world. First and foremost though, however, I would like to introduce you to something. This is so cool. There is a lady called Susie Edward Goose. Many of you already know her. I will put her details at the bottom. She's an amazing artist. She did the Cerridwen mural in Goddess House. I have numerous paintings of hers of the sacred guardians, really love them. But she has started a new endeavor, and I absolutely really love it because she made something for me as a gift. We are very good friends, and she gave me this. So this is a cauldron shaped, as you can see, rattle, and you can see the golden speckles. There are the woods under the red fire, and then we have the Arwen sign, and I love the dark green that goes into the black. It's actually my favorite. Yeah, that's one of her signature colors. So in here is hematite. I suffer from a little bit of an immune deficiency, a little bit of a blood problem, nothing to worry about, but listen to this. Isn't that amazing? So when I am in Goddess House and I do my healing, and I rattle over people to remove obstacles or weird, attachments that people sometimes bring in with them, especially in Glastonbury, Avalon. My goodness, the people bring their stuff. We rattle. But the rattle is actually just an extension of Goddess's will. So what happens is I don't do the rhythm of the rattle. What happens is the rattle goes over the body of the client, and then they actually, the rattle, my arm, my connection with Goddess, makes the rhythm up. So today, I'm feeling a bit like that. I'm rattling myself safe. Okay, so I want to show you something else. This has been a trusty tool of mine. It was made for me some 20 odd years ago by a colleague at work who was all into crystals long before I ever, found the efficacy of crystal. And it is actually copper and the amethyst and rose quartz. And this has been with me in the drawer, hanging around for years. And every now and then I felt the need to bring it out because it is so beautiful. You know, I can feel the healing that comes from both the amethyst and the crystals. Well, a couple of months ago, I went to Shield Maiden. They're not called that now. They are called something else here in Avalon. I'm trying to think. It'll come to me. And I bought this ball, right? So this is a seer ball. It is from the North tradition. And it was crystal clear, but I've dropped it a few times, and so now it's got all sorts of cracks in it. But actually the cracks are really helpful because they help me go into this state of trance, in the in-between, the betwixt and the between. As I'm holding it, I can see all sorts of colors, pink, green, reflections, upside down, inside out. It is quite spooky. So I needed some guidance yesterday, and I am an oracle priestess for the God's temple. Oracling is something that I do quite well, but it's often when we do divination for ourselves that we sort of stand in our own way. We don't really want to hear the message necessarily, because the message may not be what we feel should happen, or we want to hear that message. So I decided to ask my goddess, When I say my goddess, she's not my personal goddess. She is, I am hers. She's my guide. And I asked her, what shall I do? I need an answer to this question, but I seem to be standing in my own way. I see my ego seems to stop me from seeing what you are trying to tell me. So will you please show me a way that I can clearly see what is going on in the world, what is going on around me, and where my path is now. Where am I putting my feet? I'm feeling insecure. I'm feeling like I'm on one of these, you know, like you see in the Olympics, what is it? This you know, just a piece of wood and you're sort of standing on a tiptoe. That's how I feel at this moment of time. It's an interesting one. So she's guided me directly to this and said to me, because I added the ball a couple of months ago with her guidance, and said to me, hold on to the ball, go to sleep. Now, I've not been able to sleep for a couple of nights. You know, there's been something, this full moon was a little bit dodgy. So I said to her, okay, I'll try that. This is now 1:30 in the morning, I still can't sleep. Soon as I put the ball in my hand, I closed my eyes and I went to sleep as soon as I put the ball in my hand. And through the night, a couple of times, I woke up, but immediately grabbed for the ball again. And the guiding dreams that I got from Cerridwen were incredible. They were not necessarily what I wanted to hear, and there is a resistance to what she's trying to tell me. But I woke up this morning, I grabbed my dream diary, and I immediately wrote down what she had gifted me, because what she's trying to do for me is not hurt myself, not harm myself by trying to, you know, ram my head through a wall that is not going to shift, that's not going to move. Because she's placed that wall there saying to me, you're walking the wrong way, you're walking the wrong path. This is not what I need you to do right now. This is not where your greatest happiness lies. So will you please mind and listen to me? The last time she did that, she broke my arm. I will say she's a hardcore goddess. When you give yourself into her faith and you wish, you know, to be guided by her, if you're not listening, she will make you listen. I'm not saying she's going to break your bones, but that was how it worked for me. Looking back now, 12 years later, my life became so much better after that. Yeah, it gave me a year out to see what actually I wanted to do with my life. And it was a threshold, it was a crossroads. You know, it was turmoil, but it was great. It ended up great. So here is the ball. I held it, and she gave me these dreams and told me what I needed to hear. It was a divination, it was an oracling, because I had asked her a question, and she came through and gave me the answer. So that's what we call oracling. If you have a crystal ball, and you have got a question that you would like to find the answer to, try this out. Hold it in your hands before you go to sleep. Just trust, surrender, call in the divine that you work with, and it doesn't matter which one, they're all listening. When you are theirs, when you give yourself, your energy, your love to them, then they will listen. And hold that ball in your hand while you go to sleep, right by your head, and just ask the question that you need to hear the answer to. And sometimes it's not an answer that you wish to hear. That is the hardest part of it. And everything inside of you might say, but this is not right. I don't want to change. I don't want change. The ego likes the status quo. The ego does not want change. But that is where the faith and the trust comes in. The faith and the trust in the goddess or God or whomever you speak to, you know, that they are trying to help us. They're trying to guide us. You know, your spirit guides come through. Sometimes your great-grandmothers, your grandmothers, your mother line comes through, your father line comes through. Somebody is always on the other end of the psychic phone. That is the law of metaphysics. So please trust it. Trust that what comes through when your monkey mind has stopped riding the hamster wheel, trust what comes through. It is important in these days where the whole world is a little bit nuts to trust that you are guided, that you are loved, and that whoever is guiding you wishes the best for you. And that's my message today. So please have my blessings. Have a wonderful day and be happy. Blessed be.